I remember this is sometimes those technical things. Electric. Can you remember the so I will be healthy. That's a good for what I need.
Jesus, the name that is above every name. We give you praise, we give you the glory and the honor because you reign forever. We thank you for our chief guests. We thank you, Father, for all our guests who come for our presentation.
To welcome the Chief Principal of the Kisumu National Polytechnic, Madam Catherine, to come and give her official opening remarks.
The Chief Guest, our Honorable Ezekiel Machogu, represented by the Principal Secretary, our State Department for Vocational, Technical Education and Training, Dr. Esther Naramore. I welcome all of us to the Kisumu National Polytechnic. Good afternoon. It is with great pleasure and honor that I stand before you today as we host the 5th Annual International Multi-disciplinary Conference and the 3rd National Skills Competition. I extend a warm welcome to everyone, and I pray that we all feel welcome at the Kisumu National Polytechnic. Madam PS, allow me to recognize the management of the Kisumu National Polytechnic, our head of department and senior management. Please stand up.
I'm honored to be principal of the Child Administration. Thank you.
Good afternoon. My name is Rosemary Osare. I'm the Deputy Principal in charge of academics.
Good afternoon. I'm Rose Boke-Oyugi, the Registrar in charge of administration.
My name is Obiero Felicitas, the Registrar Academics.
I'm Dr. Daniel Lawi, Dean of Students.
I am Joshua Mose, the Head of the Department of Electrical and Electronics Engineering.
God is good. I'm Eddie Odiamo, Head of Department Mechanical Engineering.
I'm Head of Department Building and Civil Engineering.
I'm Siana Okwiri, the Head of Department of Applied Sciences Department.
Vincent Salguero, HOD, Entrepreneurship and Business Development.
Head of Department of Solidarity and Fashion Design.
I'm Benjamin Otieno, Head of Liberal Studies Department.
My name is CP Barakoroch, Head of Department Internal Audit.
Admin Officer.
My name is Dwasi Gilbert, Head of Department of ICT.
With Onomolo, the Supply Chain Manager.
Alan Gilbert, I'm in charge of strategy in the Kisumu National.
Good afternoon. My name is Abdi Osinaru. I'm the Head of Research and Evaluation.
Permission, allow me to recognize the presence of our sisters and brothers from our teaching institutions.
God is good. I'm Dr. John Abira Ruto, the Principal of Available TTI.
From Institute of Highways and Building Technology, the Academic Registrar.
Good afternoon. My name is Anthony Hongo,
Center Manager at the Vocational Training Center.
Good afternoon. My name is Cyrus Bibiro from TBITS, Chief Librarian.
Good afternoon. My name is Bernard Osongo, Center Manager, NITA Kisumu. I am Alexander Mamani, Deputy Manager Director of VGC.
Good afternoon. My name is John Arono from Sigalagala National Polytechnic. I'm the head of research and development. Thank you.
My name is Anshuda Humphrey, representing the Ramogi Institute of Advanced Technology.
Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Mr. Joe Motune, DP Academics, Appendage Polytechnic, representing the principal, Mr. Humu Kedakam. Thank you.
Today we had various activities. That is why we are holding this special occasion. One, the launch of the Bitume project, that is virtual desktop infrastructure. We've also had the launch of a green in Tibet. We are also having the launch of our strategic plan 2023 to 2027. And we have the launch of the Kisumu National Polytechnic Research Journal, KJIREI Journal. I believe we are going to be proud among the first TVET institutions to launch a journal. Madam PS, this conference marks a significant milestone in the journey of Kisumu National Polytechnic as we engage with experts, researchers, educators, and industry leaders from across the globe to explore new horizons in technical and vocational education. It is therefore an opportunity for us to share knowledge, exchange ideas, and collaborate for the advancement of our field.
Our chief guest, Madam PS, all other guests, and all protocol observed. Good afternoon. I welcome you all to Kisumu County in general and to the Kisumu National Polytechnic in particular. I'm very sure that as we provide the audience to this conference, we will learn a lot from the well-researched papers, some of which are presented in the booklet, the abstracts. And it is with this that we go to conferences to learn a lot from the presenters, from the presentations that will be given in this.
Good afternoon. Madam PS, Mrs. Esther Moria, representing the CS. I once again want to welcome you to Kisumu National Polytechnic. I wish to recognize the presence of Mr. John Amiti. John Amiti is the CEC member for education and technical training in the Kisumu County Government.
So this is a brief of my governor. I take this opportunity to welcome all of you to this great county, and specifically to the beautiful city of Kisumu. I hope you will get a little time off your busy schedule here to sample the beauty and investment opportunity of this city. Special welcome to PS, who is representing CS. I wish to sincerely thank the management of Kisumu National Polytechnic and the organizers of this conference to invite me as a witness to this important occasion. As a county government, we are proud of the Kisumu National Polytechnic because of the milestones it has made in the past few years. The guests who took time to tour the vast compound of this institution will agree with me that a remarkable development has taken place here since Madam Colonia took over. Today, the Polytechnic will be a hub of important activities. It will be launching its first journal, the Kenyan Journal of Integrated Research, Innovations and Entrepreneurship, which is a major achievement in the history of this institution. The journal will be a depository of important research papers and important findings by scholars. Congratulations for this feat. The Polytechnic is also hosting an important event, the 5th International Multi multi-disciplinary conference, and the third national scale competition. All these are very important activities in the technical education calendar. These activities will help promote and sustain academic excellence in our technical learning institutions. The conference, for example, will help promote partnership and collaborations in the academic sector. I wish to thank the national government for her keen interest in the development of TVETs. You will agree with me that TVETs hold the future of this country. Today, TVETs are fast becoming an enabler of innovation and a major contributor to the economic growth. The unveiling of the East African Schemes for Transformation and Regional Integration project is milestone in the TVET sector.
Thank you, Mr. Awiti. I want to assure you that Kisumu National Polytechnic is here to work with you very closely. We want to be able to support this training at all levels. Madam PS, if you allow me, I would want to introduce the Council of the Kisumu National Polytechnic.
Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Joyce Mwale. I represent the Principal Secretary, State Department for TVET in the Council. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. God is good and all the time. My name is Lilian Maine. I'm a council member at the Kisumu National Polytechnic.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Rajiv Arora, and I'm a council member.
Good afternoon, good people. Alex Kazongo, council member. Thank you.
Good afternoon. My name is Geoffrey Kubanda. I do represent the CS to the National Treasury.
We are holding our 5th annual International Multi-disciplinary Conference. At the same time, we're also doing the national skills competition. In doing this, we're celebrating the power of education and the importance of collaboration and knowledge exchange. And therefore, when I see the lineup of the people from other institutions who have come to grace this occasion, it is a healthy development. The theme of the conference, adaptation and resilience, the role of integrated research, innovation and entrepreneurship in mitigating climate change. We've also indicated we are launching a journal, Perish. So we are going to offer a journal where peers can review the research papers we do. And we hope that this step will help us to bring a lot of other researchers together and also to ensure that our research output is peer-reviewed and meets the world standard. So let me take this opportunity as I thank all of you also to invite our chief guest, who is Madam Esther Moria, the PS in charge of State Department of Educational and Technical Training and PS. Thank you.
The chair of the board, Engineer Kideda, Mr. Awiti, the CECM Education, this county, all members of the Kisumu National Polytechnic Board, the principals who are here, and all protocols observed. The county director, I see you. Good afternoon. Habari zenu? Before I read the CS's speech, very briefly say that I am happy now the Jitume lab is launched. I also want to say that I am excited about the research journal
because I know how important it is for an institution like this one to be thinking and putting on pen and paper what they find along. I'm also very happy about those innovations that I saw here. Get very serious about that space, because we are also, Chairman, looking into having industries in institutions. Then students can learn from within those industries, because they are people who have seen the world much more, to come in with those ideas, and we can have them here and be able to scale them up and be able to have industries here. And this is something that can be done, and this is something I am encouraging all my institutions to be able to do. My boss is equally so busy, so please excuse him, but I am here to tell you what you have wanted to tell you. I am pleased to join Kisumu with the Kisumu National Polytechnic in the launch of 2023-27 strategic plan. This is quite commendable, because a strategic plan is a roadmap that guides institutions towards the realization of their goals. I wish to urge all TVET institutions to develop strategic plans, as this will help the institutions handle management complexities and help them picture the future of the institutions. Strategic plans embody the vision and mission of the institutions, as well as the goals, objectives, and the strategies to achieve them. Furthermore, strategic plans equip institutions with the tools to analyze the external landscape, identify potential risks and opportunities, and develop strategies to mitigate challenges and leverage advantages. This leads to proactive decision-making rather than merely reacting to external circumstances. We are at a time that our educational institutions are facing some financial challenges, and it's my prayer and desire that the strategic plan we are launching today is touching on this area. It is noteworthy that this strategic plan delves itself in financial resource requirements, landscape gaps, and resource mobilization strategies, as well as much-needed business process re-engineering to improve customer service, cut operational costs, and become a world-class competitor. Ladies and gentlemen, the government is keen on tapping into the digital interconnection that the world is experiencing today. The Ministry of Education is partnering with the Ministry of Information, Communication, and the Digital Economy and Concept Technopolis in the Digitume initiative to ensure that our youth can be equipped with digital skills to help them get online jobs. The partnership entails the Ministry of Information, Communications, and the Digital Economy together with the Concept Technopolis issuing out VDIs to our TVET institutions, which I believe after the youth are trained, they will be able to get online jobs. The Ministry of Education has embarked on a robust curricular reforms agenda in the TVET sector. Competency-based education and training curricula that is anchored on practice and industrial exposure than theory, so that our graduates can fit in the modern world of work. Further, the government is collaborating with development partners in the introduction of a dual industry and 30% theory. This shift will focus on training in the industry, with the industry, for the industry, which I believe will increase the employability of our graduates. Further, the government is collaborating with Juakari associations with a view of partnering in supplying expertise, labor, and skills in the affordable housing program, in the implementation of the recognition of prior learning, in entrepreneurship training, in the establishment of common user facilities, in the development of incubation sectors, among other programs. The government is keen on upskilling TVET trainers. The staff in the TVETs have not been left behind. The government and development partners have started a public finance management, leadership and governance training for senior staff in all TVET institutions through Kenya School of TVET, where the government is in discussion with key institutions to support reskilling of trainers in CVET pedagogical theory and practice use of the state of the equipment available in the TVET colleges. We have a collective responsibility to mitigate the effect of climate change. I know you are aware of the President's directive to plant 15 billion trees, which is a government effort to address climate change in Kenya. The Ministry of Education is championing this by greening TVET initiatives where TVET institutions are mandated to at least plant 6,000 trees per year, and also to have tree nurseries, species suitable to their specific regions, which will supplement the government's efforts to address climate change. I am glad that Kisumu National Polytechnic has taken step in realizing the call by planting 300 trees today and 1,500 since the beginning of this year. Ladies and gentlemen, as I conclude, let me congratulate the Kisumu National Polytechnic for the launch of the 2023-2027 strategic plan. I urge you to embrace it and ensure that it is fully implemented. Thank you, and may the Lord bless.
Courtesy of the great Kisumu National Polytechnic, present to you a Luo folk song entitled Ameri. This was a beautiful, philosophical, industrious, beautiful brown lady who went missing, and now we are lamenting for her disappearance. More from the song, feel most welcome.
Mano minika tidak kualukas. Dong na kunu ni ara ko tumka. Maka na polisi ang niya doga ha. Yeah.
so. I think so. Can we clap for Madam? Can we clap for Madam? Can we clap for Madam? I would like to take this opportunity to invite the Chief Principal, Madam Catherine, to invite the peers for the official launch.
And now here is the research journal. Again, somebody told us you either publish or perish. This institution is not going to perish because they are publishing. Let this be the beginning, Madam Principal and Chair and your Council. Please continue in this trend. And now it is my humble duty to declare this Kenya Research and Innovation Act for Transformative Research officially launched.
We also have a beautiful cake before us representing the journal, Kenya Journal, Integrated Research, Innovations and Entrepreneurship. This is the first volume that we'd like to have the honors of Madam PS helping us cut the cake. It will be a representation of how we share knowledge amongst us as scholars, breaking all the barriers, the geographical barriers, intellectual barriers, and we share the knowledge and scientific research that we do in our areas and even around the globe. It is a symbolic of all the different ingredients that have been used to make this cake, meaning all of us, we have a collective responsibility to work to the element of research and knowledge so that we have an improved society. Karibu sana, Madam. This cake, even as you slice into it, making a cut, like I said, we are breaking barriers. Nothing will prevent us from sharing the knowledge. And even inside the cake, there were so many ingredients, different ingredients, representing the different scholars, the different researchers, the different educationists from different areas, coming together, pulling together whatever they know, whatever research we are able to do, so that we may be able to come up with single knowledge, single improvements that can help and be instrumental in the society.
Sasa ni wakati wa kukata keki. Sasa ni wakati wa kukata keki. Ukipenda keki piga makofi. Ukipenda keki piga makofi. Ani keki yetu ni tamu kweli kweli. Tamu kama masomo Kisumu Polytechnic. Tamu kama masomo Kisumu Polytechnic. Usipopiga makofi utanyimwa keki. Usipopiga makofi utakula kwa macho.
Polytechnic Research Conference officially open.
Allow me to first invite our first keynote speaker, Professor Solomon Gara. He's the Dean, School of Informatics at Jaramogi Oginga University.
I consider it an honor and privilege for me to speak before you today. The 5th Annual International Multidisciplinary Conference, 3rd National Skills Competition, is an evidence of the ongoing research and innovations taking place in TVET institutions in this country. Statistics show that the number of students pursuing TVET courses has actually increased from 90,000 to more than 500,000 in the last 10 years. This has debunked the long-held false philosophy pegged on gender and occupations and privileged career opportunities, which has contributed to many young talented Kenyans being locked out from readily available economic opportunities, which are lucrative and accessible. Yet the truth of the matter is, outside of these misguided philosophies lies not only productive jobs for the thousands of graduates per year, but a proven solution for the advancement of our country towards industrialization. The theme of today's conference is sustainability. If you look at it, it gives various aspects of sustainability: economic, social, sustainability. TVET institutions must continue to innovate and attract funding for sustainability. We must embrace the culture of research, innovation, and entrepreneurship. I'm pleased to know that this particular institution is leading by example, because behind us is actually an evidence of what it is to do research. The conference brings to light some very, very key fundamental issues, which include, we've heard of multidisciplinary. When you look at the title of the conference, multidisciplinary, interdisciplinary, transdisciplinary, integrated research from what we heard from the journal, innovation, entrepreneurship, and sustainability. I think it's time for us to work together to be able to, apply for funding. And I want to quote what the CEO of NRF said. We've come to a point where we've got to look beyond NRF. There's a lot of money out there in billions, but we've got to be creative. We've got to be aggressive, and we've got to know exactly what to do. Because, honestly speaking, there is money for us, and that is a source of sustainability. If we've got to sustain these centers, if we've got to sustain what we've started, then there is no choice. It's got to be on collaborating partnership, doing research, and solving our own problems. And with that, I say thank you very much.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome Mr. Stephen Maine.
Thank you. Unemployment has become a critical problem in most of African countries. And this is not a special case in Africa. And this has been aggravated by a lack of skills, specific skills, that responds to the market needs. And actually, according to the World Bank, that the regional economy collapses not just that the unemployment rate has increased, especially during COVID and post-COVID. And this continues to call for stakeholders to engage and look the best way to skill and also to guarantee employment. Actually, in this world often marked with inequalities, TVET must become professional insurance alternative, which must also give a definite answer to the market needs. And therefore, this calls for innovation ways, collaborations, to crack our head together and ask ourselves hard questions. How long shall we keep on singing this song of skills mismatch? How long shall we continue to dance with this rhythm of the talk that tertiary education is not able to meet the market need?
Thank you so much. Ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome Mr. Newton Owino.
As he has mentioned, fish-led economy, and also other small innovative products that we are doing. Today, I'm so much delighted to deliver a keynote speech for this conference. And the reason why I'm so happy to be here today is because the conference itself is a huge innovation. Because I see two communities here. I see the development community and the academia. This is a very rare occasion where the two community come together and especially to discuss this novel topic of innovation and climate resilience. The deadly effects of climate change and other environmental challenges call for an urgent need to revise techniques and process to mitigate and reverse the effects of these dangers. That's where innovation comes in. We are all aware that providing adequate food entitlements, safeguarding public health, conserving flora and fauna, and at the same time managing waste are among the challenges that will require creative and acceptable solutions. And when I talk of acceptable solutions, these are solutions that are ethically correct and solutions that are acceptable by almost everybody. The green revolution technologies in the past doubled the yield potential for food. However, the high input production systems that is regard the ecological integrity of land, forests, and water resources and endanger the biota cannot be sustained over generations. As much as we are producing a lot of food, remember the consequences of our inputs that has contributed to a huge climatic destruction. Therefore, this leaves us with some few options. Food security and economic independence will now depend to a great extent on improving the productivity of biophysical resources through the application of sustainable, innovative production methods and by adopting production processes that are tolerant to adverse environmental conditions.
The first question was on sustainability. Now, allow me to say this. If you look at the Sustainable Development Goals, it hinges on the word sustainability. And that brings up the question, why sustainability? Why do they talk about Sustainable Development Goals? Before I answer that, take you to the next thing. When we apply for funding, we write, for funding, or we respond to funding calls. One of the key requirements, and I believe colleagues who are here, who are involved in the writing of the, responding to the call that contributed to the project behind us, is quite familiar with this and others. But one of the things you're supposed to clearly articulate is how is the sustainability of that particular project. Meaning, beyond the funding, how do you ensure continuity? You must have a good plan in place, because if you don't convince the funders, then the assumption is that when the money dries up, then the activities come to an end. It's a dead end. Now, back to the issue of Sustainable Development Goals, and I don't know what mindset those who came up with the themes of this particular conference had. But if you look at the themes, the thematic areas, sustainability talks about social sustainability, economic sustainability, and environmental sustainability. Now, when I go back to the Sustainable Development Goals, my understanding is, what is it that we can do in order to attain those minimum requirements as per the United Nations Development Goals? That in any society, we have rights to A, B, C, D, whether it is quality of education, rights to equality, equity, employment, are living in an environment which essentially is healthy for us, having a healthy life. There are certain minimum standards that are expected of any nation. And so for me, in my own understanding then, the issue of sustainability can be looked at from different angles depending on in which context you are talking about. Now, in the context that I was talking about, it was a question of here we are innovating. We are coming up with new ideas to do the ideation. The question is, once you're there, how do you ensure the sustainability of this? When we talk about research and we apply for funding, and let me be honest here, if you talk to anybody from a public institution in our country today, and my position, I know the challenges we are going through. Capitation is coming down every year. And money available, there's no guarantee that we'll be getting money the way we used to. So universities are learning a lesson. We, the universities, are learning a lesson. That we can no longer rely on the government for funding. You must find other sources of funding. So most universities now are becoming aggressive and looking for funding elsewhere. But the thing is, once you've gotten this funding, how do you ensure sustainability of what you have? And that's the question that I was actually raising here, which may not necessarily be in the context that when we talk about now the environmental sustainability, social and economic sustainability. Thank you. But allow me just to answer the other ones as well. I hope I answered that question. How from the second, this was the second question, rather a question from the second person. How are we patenting any of our innovations? Now, where I work at the university, where I work at Jaramogi Oginga University of Science and Technology, we have the African Center of Excellence in Institute for Food and Feeds. And I know it's quite interesting when people hear food and feeds. And my background, I'm actually an associate professor of IT security. How are they connected? That's why I talked about multi-disciplinary research. I'm there responsible for research and technology. And one of the things we've done, we work very closely with KIPI. We've worked with the Kenya Bureau of Standards. We've actually standardized our products. Have actually gone through that particular process of getting IP patented. They've been approved by the Kenya Bureau of Standards. I think what is left is getting them now to the store, essentially. The problem now is being able to produce enough in order to bring it out into the market. The commercialization aspect has been quite challenging, and that's an area we're working with Kenya. Kenya National Innovation Agency has been to our university. We've worked them closely. The last time I was in Nairobi, we were still working with them on how to commercialize this. Commercialization is one of the challenges for higher institutions, universities, and I believe TVET is the same thing. Because, to be honest, some of us are researchers and not business people. And so merging those two is one thing that I found quite challenging. So we often say, leave research to those who are doing research and get somebody, a business person, to do the commercialization aspect. Now, in terms of partnership, I think I've already covered that. We are partnering with KIPI, Kenya. We have Unga Feeds who are willing. They are ready actually to accept terms of these particular products. Unfortunately, we cannot meet that demand. They are saying the demand is there. Within the country currently cannot get enough of, if you know, the omena is not, we are not getting enough of it to be used for animal feeds. The soybeans that we're getting from somewhere in South Africa, we are no longer getting enough of that. So we have to find alternatives, but we aren't getting enough. We are still not meeting that particular demand. So the demand is still there. Thank you.
Before Steve responds, I glean a fact from Professor's presentation. The challenge that the universities are meeting in terms of financial sustainability, now that they cannot wholly rely on capitation. Let this also fall squarely in the quarters of our own TVET institutions, such that we look at modalities and mechanisms of sourcing for funding, especially in enabling our bright and talented young men to access education. I hope, Professor Gill, in your work in terms of strategic planning, you highlighted aspects that enable us as TKNP to come up with innovative and sourcing our own local scholarship funds. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you. Allow me to pick something before I respond to the question. The element of sustainability. As who are at the epicenter of daily fundraising, this piece of sustainability, it is our food. We must recite it, we must memorize it, we must walk it, we must live it. The world has changed. In development partners funding, it is shifting. And they are shifting from individual funding to consortium funding. One purpose of consortium funding is fundraising is the piece of sustainability. So they look at the formation of that consortium. When you come together, you bring your synergies together, you bring your expertise together, then that itself determines is sustainable because you are bringing collaborative efforts. And I'm happy just to say, when I read the newspaper today, Kisumu National Polytechnic, you are a beneficiary of SIPA. Right? And I know that you also probably pursued Widow 3, whereby a piece or qualifications of implementing partners was cardinal for that application. And that was anchored on the piece of sustainability of the project. So collaborations also strengthens and brings the element of sustainability. Rajiv, I thought you know as well. You know the role of industry in ensuring sustainability. So let me use an ideal example where you are an expert. The question of how or what guarantees sustainability when there is collaborations between institution and the industry. What is the specific role of the industry? Now, in a very practical experience here is Earth generation. Generation train for the industry, skills for the industry. And if I pick one example, it is in the EPZ, textile and apparel sector, where we skill sewing machines operators. That is a sector that has huge demand, has annual demand of 10,000 plus labor force. But generation is just skilling that of that annually. So, to train one learner in our program, that is sewing machines operators, it costs an average of 800 USDs if you want to do it holistically, looking at all the materials that I wear. But that cost has reduced significantly through collaboration with the industry. What we do, the industries provide us, for example, the fabric, which is quite expensive. And that collaborations, they give us fabric. They also give us machines. That reduces the cost significantly. And that itself is sustainable. So, just to try a good example, is what, together with what we are pursuing, is that one of the EPZs, and I'm proud to mention it here, this name, or a bigger in coastal region, is that we have entered into an agreement that they are going to give us a space to train, continue training for our learners. So the role of the industry to ensure sustainability is, one, they could also support in terms of giving or donating training materials. We have rare cases, for example, what happened in Tunisia, where the industry continue to give the Tibet institutions training materials, and that just becomes sustainable. And number two, again, in terms of the skills, you see, when the industry comes on board and they retool you, re-equip you, retrain you, that itself the gaining of the skills that you're able to stand by yourself is also a piece, an element of sustainability. So that space, the role of industry could play to guarantee sustainability. So jumping to the piece of data is that yes, quality data is critical. And when we talk about quality data is a data that can be verified, right? A data that speaks, not just the numbers. Yes, we see numbers don't lie, but it is true, the numbers can lie. For example, if I say, right now in this conference, we are 100, and then the course noted, or we are 50, and we are 50. So sometimes that statement, the numbers do not lie, confuses. It's a lie. So the question is, how do you continue to get the quality that is verifiable? And that is fact. Let me use example here. 6,000 plus. And I'm proud to say, at a click of a button, since 2015, we are able to track each youth to tell us this youth was trained in this center, he was trained in this program, he dropped or he continued, he graduated this date, he was placed in this factory or this industry, and he is earned this much. That's what we are calling about the quality in the tracking. So there's also a piece of customization in the context of where you are in the various departments. Here, for example, if you're in the section of engineering, if you're in the section of humanity, if you're in the section of business, now can an institution come up with a system that you key in this data? I know most of this data are tracked manually through classifiers, registers, and all these. But the question is, from the entry point of the student during the admission to the exit of the student, and even beyond the exit, are we able to track? The reason is, I know here in Kisumu Polytechnic, you have a private sector and institutional collaborations network. You have so many industries here who continue to look for employment. Assume I'm a potential employer, I come into a department or I come to principal's office and I request, can I have a data for the learners who have graduated in the electrical? Maybe I have job opportunities. Is that data readily available? That you are able to give me those learners who have graduated in the specific programs? So that's what we are calling about the efficiency point of the data. That's able to serve the purpose, and that data is help us to make other decisions, even the expansion and the other management issues when it comes to the data. So our vision as an organization is to continue to elaborate with the institutions, the Tibet institution, and I'm happy to just mention there is an ongoing conversation in collaboration with Dr. Charles and Evans here. How best can we be able to partner with this institution? And once we partner, we can explore avenues of capacity building the institutions in some of these pieces and that's some of these areas. And data management is one of our key areas that we know we are able to capacity build you and build a data management system that is credible. So we are also doing this with the Kisi National Polytechnic. So it's a nationwide effort in collaboration with the Tibet. So thank you.
That is an area that we need to capture with avid interest. We have very often to walk the talk on issues to do with sustainability, and that has been the bane of our own destruction, probably a nation armed against itself. But let that not be the case again after this conference. Thank you.
I will start with the last one. Have I patented my innovations? The answer is no. Right? I rather go for utility model, but not patent. I am an entrepreneur. I need to bring up young generations. I may die tomorrow, and I don't want to die with that knowledge locked somewhere at keep, without someone coming behind me to use the same knowledge. I'm working very closely with WIPO in Geneva and KIPI in Nairobi, and I'm very careful that I only patent what is necessary. But so far, what I've done is just to go for a utility model so that I leave a space for our students to come and also enjoy my innovations at my place. The first one from my teacher. Where have I been since 2018? I know you remember 2018 because that's when we gave a speech during the Blue Economy Conference in Europe. But remember, after that, you did a lot of things in my life. One of the things that you did is to introduce me to a number of people, and that made me to be appointed as the president of Global Green Leather Lands based in Vancouver. And yeah, that is one thing, and that's where I've been. Now, the task involved there is actually to develop a lot of innovations that are actually helping to reduce the climate damage. And the fish leather was, remember, I'm very sure you are there at that meeting. Fish leather was one of the sectors that was cited as one of the main key players in climate change. And therefore, when I was appointed into this position, it is again you as my teacher who recommended that the Nordic countries adopt me to actually push this program. And as we speak, I'm managing 16 countries, Nordic countries, especially on blue economy component. Secondly, the last one, the development of my tannery has been on the increase. When I realized that because of this, the same climate change we are talking about, Lake Victoria is not able to give me enough and large size scale, I moved to Puntland, where the government of Somaliland did give me a space. And we are now working on tuna skin and a number of seafood skin. And this is for export to Nordic countries. It's you again who linked me up to Atlantic Sea Leather, where we signed a supply contract. And therefore, this left me with very little time to be in the public. So far, there are also other products that we've developed. That is the collagen from the fish skin that already we are shipping to the same Nordic countries. The fish eyes that we are now converting to women earrings that we are also shipping now. And all this originated from you. Thank you.
Can we give a round of applause to all our presenters?